At exactly 12:07 a.m., the knocking began. 3 slow knocks. Then silence. Then 3 more. I froze on my couch, the glow of Netflix still flickering across the dark living room. No one ever came to my house after midnight. No one ever should. My phone buzzed in my hand, and when I looked down, my heart slammed against my ribs. Unknown caller. I declined it. The knocking came again. This time harder, louder, like the door itself was begging to be opened. My dog, Max, lifted his head and growled low in his throat. Max never growled. Not even at strangers. Go check, I whispered to myself, even though every instinct screamed not to. I walked toward the front door, each step heavier than the last. Through the peephole, I saw nothing. Just darkness. No porch light. No movement. Then the whisper came. Daniel, open the door. My blood ran cold. I had never told anyone my name since moving into this house. The whisper came again, closer now, pressed right against the wood. You invited me. The handle slowly turned. I stumbled backward as the door creaked open by itself. And standing there, was a man who did not belong to the living. He was tall, dressed in an old-fashioned black coat, his face pale like candle wax. His eyes were completely black, no whites, no reflection, just endless darkness staring straight through me. The air around him smelled like damp earth and something rotten. Max whimpered and hid behind the couch. The man smiled. I'm sorry to come so late, he said politely, stepping inside without waiting for permission. Midnight is when memories wake up. I tried to speak. Nothing came out. He closed the door behind him and looked around my living room like an old friend revisiting a place he once loved. You don't recognize me, he continued. That's normal. You weren't supposed to remember. He reached into his coat and pulled out a small, cracked photograph. My breath caught. It was me. Not now. Me as a child. Standing in front of a burning house. No, I whispered. That's not possible. You made a promise, the stranger said softly. And tonight, I came to collect. Suddenly, the lights went out. The room dropped 10 degrees colder. The walls creaked, groaning like they were under pressure. The stranger's smile widened, stretching unnaturally far. You see, Daniel, he said, every miracle has a witness. And every witness has a cost. Flashes of memory slammed into my mind. A fire. Screaming. Smoke choking my lungs. I remembered being 6 years old, trapped in my childhood home as flames climbed the walls. I remembered crying, praying to anyone, anything, to save me. And then, him, standing in the fire, untouched by flames. I'll get you out, he had said back then. But someday, I'll return. I collapsed to my knees. You're not real, I said. You're just a nightmare. The stranger crouched down to my level. His face inches from mine. Nightmares don't age, he whispered. But you did. The walls around us began to bleed black cracks, spreading like veins. From inside them came whispers, hundreds of voices, all calling my name. What do you want? I shouted. He stood up, straightening his coat. Not your soul, he said calmly. That would be too easy. He pointed toward the hallway. I want you to come with me. Just for a walk. The hallway stretched longer than it should have, the shadows swallowing the doors on either side. At the end, where my bedroom should be, there was only darkness. If I say no? I asked. The stranger tilted his head. Then I take Max instead. My heart shattered. Max whimpered again, pressing himself against the wall. You're a monster, I said. Yes, the stranger replied pleasantly. But I keep my deals. With shaking legs, I stepped into the hallway. The moment my foot crossed the threshold, the house disappeared. We were standing on a street I didn't recognize, lit by flickering streetlights that buzzed like dying insects. The sky above was empty, no stars, no moon. This is where forgotten promises go, the stranger explained. America is full of them. Figures stood along the sidewalks, men, women, children, motionless, eyes hollow, all watching me. They all made bargains, he said. And they all thought time would erase them. We stopped in front of a mirror standing alone in the street. Look, he commanded. I did. And I screamed. My reflection was fading. Parts of me were transparent, like smoke drifting away. By sunrise, the stranger said, You'll belong here. No, I cried. There has to be another way. He considered this. There is, he said finally. Someone else can take your place. Behind me, the figures stepped closer. Choose, the stranger said. Another soul, or your own. I thought of Max, of my life, of the fire I survived. And I understood the truth. The stranger was never the villain. He was the collector of choices. I choose myself, I whispered. The stranger smiled, genuinely this time. So be it. The mirror shattered. I woke up on my living room floor, sunlight pouring through the windows. The house was normal, quiet. Max licked my face, barking happily. It was over. Or so I thought. That night, at 12:07 a.m., my phone rang. Unknown caller. This time, I answered. A child's voice whispered from the other end. Please, open the door. And somewhere far away, a stranger in a black coat smiled.